You know that feeling, right? That sudden rush of panic, that overwhelming sense that you have to act right now or something absolutely terrible is going to happen. Well, today, we are taking that feeling apart, piece by piece. We're deconstructing the psychological weapon at the heart of so many scams, manufactured urgency. We're going to see how criminals don't need to outsmart you, they just need to outrun your logical brain. Let's get into it.
And this right here, it just hits the nail on the head. The real battleground for these scams isn't your computer or your bank account, not at first anyway. The initial attack is aimed squarely at your own biology. The whole game for the scammer is to create a crisis so believable, so immediate, that your body's own defense mechanisms actually turn against you. They literally weaponize your pulse.
So, the basic idea here is deception through acceleration. A con artist gets something really profound about how we work. A scam doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be fast. It has to move faster than your ability to stop, take a breath, and ask a question. Faster than you can engage that logical, critical part of your mind. They are literally in a race against your own reason.
Okay, so this is the absolute core question of this entire explainer. This isn't about tricking you with some clever lie in the old school sense. No, this is about triggering a genuine physical stress response in your body. They create a situation where your adrenaline starts pumping, your heart rate spikes, and your body goes into high alert. And in that state, that's when you're most vulnerable. They're hijacking your biology to get around your intellect.
So, to really get how this hijack works, we need to take a look under the hood at the brain's own wiring. See, we all have this sort of emergency override switch. It's a neurological backdoor that's designed to save us from, say, a tiger. Scammers, well, they figured out how to pick the lock on that back door. And it all starts with how our brain deals with pressure.
Now, what's really fascinating is how our thinking is mapped out. Behavioral scientists have this great way of looking at it. Two systems. System 1 is your gut reaction. It's fast, it's automatic, it's emotional. It's what you use to know that 2 + 2 is 4 without thinking. System 2, on the other hand, is slow, deliberate, and logical. That's the system you use to solve a tough math problem or weigh a huge life decision. Normally, they work together. But under the kind of intense pressure a scammer creates, our brain just defaults straight to System 1. It's a survival move, but it completely sidelines logic.
And this is the mechanism behind that default. It's called an amygdala hijack. The amygdala, that's your brain's little smoke detector. When it senses a threat, and it doesn't care if it's real or just perceived, it floods your system with stress hormones. And this does something very, very specific. It basically mutes your prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain that handles rational thought. This is the biological proof of a really simple, kind of scary concept. When your heart rate goes up, your IQ goes down. You are physically less able to think clearly.
And this state, it actually has a name: cognitive resource depletion. I want you to think of your ability to think critically like a phone battery. The fight or flight response, it's like running a super demanding app. It just drains that battery. It eats up all your mental energy, leaving you with nothing in the tank for critical analysis. You stop looking for red flags because your brain is 100% focused on the immediate, perceived threat. The scammer isn't just telling you a story. They are actively draining your cognitive battery so you can't spot the holes in their logic anymore.
All right, so now that we've got the biology down, let's do a little forensic breakdown. We are going to analyze the scammer's playbook, not as a bunch of lies, but as a clinical, step-by-step neurological operation. It's all designed to get you into that hijacked state and keep you there. This is the anatomy of the heist.
The whole strategy is called temporal compression, literally squeezing your sense of time. Let's walk through their playbook. First up, you see the anchor. It kicks off with some catastrophic story. Your grandchild is in jail. Your bank account is being emptied. There's a warrant out for your arrest. This sets an immediate, high-stakes emotional trap. Next, they hit you with the rush. The scammer uses this rapid-fire questioning, a tone of barely controlled panic. They're not talking to you, they're talking to your fight-or-flight response. Third, and this is the kicker, they create the tunnel. They invent an artificial deadline. You have 5 minutes to wire the money. This creates this psychological tunnel where the only way out seems to be doing what they say. Fourth is the isolation. They tell you, do not hang up, don't talk to anyone. They're locking you in. And it all leads to the final goal, the exit. They give you one simple way to make all this stress just stop. Just pay them. You're not even paying to solve the problem anymore. You're paying to make your own heart stop pounding.
So you really have to get this, what's happening on that phone call? It is not a conversation between two people. It is a hijack.
The person on the other end is manipulating your brain's own emergency override system to take control of your decisions. They are literally banking on your own biology to do all the heavy lifting for them.
But, and this is the most important part, you are not powerless. Now that we've seen exactly how the weapon works, let's talk about the shield. We're going to shift gears now from a forensic analysis to a strategic one. This is all about empowerment, about how you can build a countermeasure that short-circuits this entire scam.
Look, the entire scam is built on one thing: speed. So your defense has to be the exact opposite: friction. Specifically, what we call mandatory biological friction. You have to deliberately, systematically slow the whole situation down. The goal is just to give your prefrontal cortex, your logical brain, enough time to come back online. You have to fight their speed with your stillness.
Okay, so here's your game plan, your strategic defense. Let's break it down. Number 1, recognize the deadline red flag. If a stranger imposes a time limit on a major decision, it is a scam, full stop. 2, use the power of the hang-up. Just end the call, it's your phone. 3, create what we call a 10-minute air gap. Just give yourself 10 minutes before you do a single thing. 4 and 5 go hand in hand. Create distance. Physically walk away from your phone and talk to another human being in the same room. Say the situation out loud. And finally, number 6, know the signs of the heist. Urgent demands for gift cards, crypto, wire transfers, that's not how real institutions operate.
And let's just focus on hanging up for a second, because it's so much more than just ending a call. It is a physiological weapon in your defense. The scammer's voice, their panicked tone, their pacing, it's a constant stream of information designed to keep your amygdala firing on all cylinders. Breaking that connection is the only way to perform a physiological reset. It's like cutting the power cord to a blaring alarm. It lets your nervous system calm down, your heart rate drop, and your logical brain finally re-engage.
You know, having a script ready can be an absolute game changer. It takes all the guesswork out of a super stressful moment. So, memorize this. My security protocol prevents me from making decisions under a time limit. I will verify this through official channels. This language does 2 brilliant things. First, it disarms the scammer because it shows you have a process. But more importantly, it gives you back control of the timeline. It's your exit ramp out of their manufactured crisis.
All right, as we start to wrap this up, let's boil everything we've talked about down to its absolute core principle. The entire defense strategy, all of these countermeasures, it can all be summarized in one powerful concept.
This right here is probably the most important distinction you can ever learn. Just think about it for a second. A real crisis, a fire, a medical emergency, it requires your calm, focused attention to solve the problem. A scam, though, needs your panic. It needs your heart to be racing, your thinking to be cloudy. It demands your pulse, because that's what keeps your logical brain offline. If you feel pressured, frantic, and rushed, that feeling itself is the biggest red flag of all.
So here it is. This is the mantra, the one thing to take away from all of this. If a stranger is telling you something is critically urgent and it requires you to act immediately with no time for verification, it's a lie. Real institutions, banks, the police, the IRS, they operate on process and paperwork, not on frantic 10-minute countdown timers over the phone. That urgency, that's the signature of the fraud.
Ultimately, when you strip it all away, it really just comes down to this simple equation. The scammer's only true weapon is speed. They use it to create panic and blow past your defenses. Your most powerful shield, therefore, is time. The ability to just pause, to hang up the phone, to create that 10-second, 10-minute air gap. Time is what lets your system reset and your intellect take back control. And that's what we're going to leave you with. You have the forensic breakdown now, you understand the neurological hijack, you know the playbook of temporal compression. So the next time you feel that sudden manufactured rush of panic, will you recognize it for what it is? Can you spot that exact moment the scammer puts their imaginary clock on the wall? And will you have what it takes to hang up and take back your time?